Good morning everyone, welcome back to the Wallacean channel. Today is the 11th of June 2026 and I'm currently on a family holiday. Normally I go around different attractions and document them, things like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around this resort because when I was having a look, I couldn't really find a video of an in-depth look around the resort. Again, this might not be very in-depth. I'm going to go around the main atrium section, which is where all your bars and swimming pools are. I'm going to walk around the outer side of the complex because there's also two other bars as well, which are all-inclusive, tied in. You know, that main section in the middle gets quite busy, so there is other options if you want a bit more of a relaxed feel to it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk from the point of where you get through the main gates of the complex and kind of walk you through all the way up until the swimming pools, things like that, so you can get a good feel of the resort itself and kind of locations you may need to walk to, and destinations and points of interest on the resort. So yeah, without further ado, join me. So when you arrive, you'll come through them main gates, and then you've got this kind of this sections of shops. Now on the right, the first set of shops is like an estate agent's, because I think, so although this is a resort of apartments, people can own these apartments and kind of rent them out. A bit like Haven or any caravan site in the UK, you can kind of rent out your caravan once you've bought it, and to have reduced site fees, things like that. Now another main feature that I didn't see until the second day is that there's actually a Starbucks on site. I think I got an iced coffee with caramel for about £4.50. I think it's more like a franchise. I mean, it might not have as much selection as a Starbucks in England, but there is a Starbucks on site, and the coffee I had was fine. Now I am doing this quite early in the morning, trying to beat the crowds and things like that, so I don't think a lot of stuff is open. Just had a trip there. But there is a little kids section as well, a little kids playground, and a mini golf area as well. So they've got that on site. I think you can rent out the mini golf equipment at the reception. Obviously, come to the main reception section. Obviously, it's called Unique Spa and Golf Resort. I think it's a part of the wider Kusadasi Spa and Golf Resort. Got the main section of map here. So that's the main part of the complex. I'm going to kind of walk from there around the outer edge, and then this is one of the other bars, the snack bars that you can use, the all-inclusive. I'm going to come down here to the other snack bar and then back around. Now if you book with Jet2, there's a fella from Jet2 who sits here. You kind of book things on your holiday with. And then there's also guest relations as well. That you can kind of book you for your trips to the beach and stuff. Well, the first bar you'll come into, this is classed as the second floor, and the first bar you'll come into is the Aegean bar. This is one of the most bars that are open latest. I think it's open till 11. There's a little pool table there at the end that you can make use of. And as well, there's a little like veranda section on the side. It doesn't really get hit by the sun, but it is there. And obviously this is all included in your all-inclusive if that's what you go for. Now this hotel was opened in like 2012 and they've just done the refurbishment since 2025, so there's a lot of areas that are new and you can kind of see the parts that still need updating. But even still, there's still lovely views from this kind of section of the balcony. So yeah, this class is the second floor, and as you drop lower, it's the first and ground floor. So this second floor basically contains the Aegean bar, the reception. There's like a little jeweller's on the right as well when you walk in, and then sort of any table you need to kind of book anything. So like guest relations or jet 2, things like that. There's also toilets on this level as well. And that's the reception over there. So as you come down the stairs out into the left, this is kind of your snack bar area. So this is open from, I think it's 12 till 5. Now this is the main place we've been eating, to be fair. You know, they do burgers, pizzas, pastas, things like that, all drinks. Obviously it's shut at the minute. Kind of got out early doors, trying to beat the hustle and bustle of the main crowds, because once that pool area gets very crowded, there's all music going off. But yeah, it's a lot of big space, some lovely views as well whilst you're eating. And the staff are always attentive as well. You know, once you finish, your plate's gone within a few minutes. I'll try and get some video of the actual food as well when it's open. But yeah, so this is floor 1. So on this floor is the main snack bar, and then there's also an Irish bar. So the Aegean bar upstairs opens till 11, and I think this Irish bar opens till 12. Although obviously we're in June now, so, and the World Cup's coming up, I think one of the bars have been playing the World Cup friendlies and then the qualifiers. They're going to be playing them. So it might be in this sort of Irish bar. There's a couple of little markets as well. Little trinkets, things you might need. Obviously sell bread and stuff like that. Don't know if that's open at the minute now. But yeah, you've got all necklaces. They sell bread and all sorts of different items in there, drinks. 5 litre bottles of water as well if you need that. Now we came with a newborn baby, so we kind of opted to buy litres of bottled water instead of using their own personal water. But they've got all little trinkets and stuff. Little kusabdasi ornaments. Things you can take home for family. And as well as that, there's a couple of different stores on site. So like there's a shoe store. Now obviously these are all going to be fake realistically, but they seem to be good fakes, if you can say that. And obviously they're on trend as well with New Balance, the On Runners, Christian Dior. They sell like different clothes as well, so you've got the House of Bags, which is obviously all designer bags, leather, things like that, and then you've got the boutique, which sells all your kind of bootleg football kits, Monterex tracksuits, White Fox, things like that. I'll show you some of the prices as well. Now I think the red price is obviously pounds, So £9 for a North Face top. £13 for another North Face top. So it's all reasonable. It's just whether they pass for real clothes at home. Adenola, £22 hoodie. And a £22 white fox. As well as that, there's also a hairdresser's. See if they've got a price list. It's kind of hard to get in the reflection. So wash and cut €30, wash and blow dry 25. Yeah, hopefully you can see that through the reflection. There's also some men's prices as well. And these shops are open from 10:30 till 10 at night. Then on the ground floor, which is your main eating area, so this is the main restaurant. This is called the Albatross restaurant. I'll go in there in a second. I'll get the pool and then come back round. So then opposite the Albatross restaurant you have your spa and wellness area as well, so you can come here and book different spa and wellness treatments. I had a foot massage the other day. It was quite nice, to be fair. If you want some prices, let me sort the camera out. So yeah, there's some prices there. And obviously the fella here will do you some deals as well. As well as that, there's an indoor pool and there's a spa. So obviously you can use that spa. I think there's a sauna and steam room in there that you can use free of charge, and then obviously you get your massages in there as well. So yeah, this is the ground floor. So you come down the stairs and go right. That's the spa and wellness area. Then you come straight out these doors, and then this is the swimming pools with the water slides, things like that. There are 12 swimming pools on site. Obviously this is the main one, and each kind of apartment complex has their own swimming pool. Obviously, as I said, they've been showing the World Cup games, and you've got this World Cup board at the minute, which is kind of going to document the scores of each game as they progress through. So if you're coming in the next few months, a big factor for the hotel might be the World Cup. So I think they have been showing the games quite late as well. So one of the England games was on at like 11 o'clock, and they were happy to show it. So obviously this is the first pool. This does get quite busy in the day, with it being the main kind of sunbathing area. But it's not too hard to find a sun lounger, depending on how many you need. We've got 5 of us, and we've comfortably found sun loungers every day. I know there is that thing of kind of get down before everyone gets down. And as well as that spa area, you kind of you've also got free towel hire as well. You alright, mate? You okay? Morning. Now, they've got these two kind of like hot tub sections as well in this pool, but I've never actually seen the jets on. But they're there, they may throw them on at different times. Now, both of these pools do have lifeguards. Normally if the lifeguard goes on his lunch, they'll just throw a sign up saying no lifeguard on duty. There is also this kiddies pool as well, for little ones who are not quite strong swimmers, so there is that as well, with its own little slide. Now there is an animations team here that are around the pool all the day, I think from like 10 o'clock, and they are very good. Like every 30-20 minutes there's something new happening. Aqua Zumba, they have like step up classes in this little section here. But anything you need to know is on this main board here. It normally runs, it's the exact same thing every day from Monday to Saturday, and then Sunday kind of changes it up. So if you look there, there's 10 o'clock dance, yoga, darts. Now I did play that darts the other day and the darts seem a bit funny, they don't seem weighted, although that is my reason for not winning. Pool games at 12. They all go in their break at 12:30 till 2:30. Aqua Zumba. But yeah, there is a massive selection, and the team who do it are on the go all day. Obviously, they have a lunch break. This kind of section at the top left is what's going to be on of an evening. And that's in the amphitheatre, which I'll walk you around to shortly. And then they've got the mini club, basically the kids club selection. That's open from 10 till 12 and then 2:30 till 5:30. So that's that. So you come out the pool, you go round, and you come up this these right set of stairs, and this is kind of the section where all the kid slides are going to be. Now these slides operate between 10 till 12, and then it's 2 till 5. And obviously these are only kind of switched on when there's a lifeguard on duty. But there's 8 slides on the complex, up 9 if you're counting that little elephant slide for the kids. This blue slide is a sort of quick ride. All the kids love that one. Then you've got this kind of dipped slide that sends you crashing into the pool. This pool's 1.2 metres, so most kids over the age of 5 or 6 should cope pretty well. If they're not strong swimmers, just throw some armbands on them. Now this yellow slide's here, but I've not seen that on since I've been here. I don't know whether it's broke or undergoing maintenance or something like that, but that hasn't been on yet. But still, there's been enough slides for the kids to use. So there's one set of slides in that pool, and then there's more toddler slides, I'd say, because this pool's a lot less deep than the other. So this is 1 metre deep at its most deepest point, and the slides are much shorter, although you will still come down them at pace. And then there's 2 smaller slides as well for the much younger kids. So there's a bit for everyone. You know, if they're new to slides and you have to test them before, them small too, that'd be your first port of call. But I've kind of done this at a mad time because there's some stuff that isn't open, so you can't see it in depth. So I might go back and put some videos in at the end. I might get like a section of this gym if it isn't open, but in this far right corner there is a gym on site. I'm not too sure whether that's open yet. No, let's have a look. It is open, but it's not the right time, so I'm not gonna chance it. But yeah, so the gym's in there. I get a bit of footage of that later on, once it seems a bit more lively. So that's the main pool. And what you find is that this area is quite shaded as well, so we've come with a newborn, so our main port of call when we're finding a sun lounger is get a bit of a shaded area outside the elements, and this seems to be the best port of call. I'm going to get our soaked down here. Some fellas washing up. But this is the kids club. Obviously do all sorts of activities in there, baking cookies or things like that, and the same working hours applies that we were seeing earlier. This little stage section's kind of used outside of the amphitheatre. Normally, once the amphitheatre's shut, they'll let you come down here and have kind of an overflow of different entertainment. And this is the Palm Bar. So these will be your daytime. This will be your daytime bar if you're not in the snack bar upstairs. And again, it's all the same sort of inclusive stuff: Coke, Fanta, Sprite. They do iced coffees here as well. They're not the best. Normally, I'll just go over to Starbucks. Again, it's all inclusive, so they're not putting quality ingredients in, things like that. But still, somewhere nice to sit. If you look over here, some of the views you can have as you're having a pint, a coffee, a soda water, anything like that. It's all in the mountainous regions, so there is lovely views to sit and pass the time. That's kind of it for the this is kind of classed as the atrium. I might try and go in and have a little look at the restaurant, but I don't want to be throwing a camera in people's faces. So before I go in, I'll ask the lady if it's alright to have a little film, and if she's happy, I'm happy. But that's kind of the main pool area. And again, this area's got obviously the music going all day. Once it starts becoming lively around 10ish, and it's just this pool area is kind of that you make it what you want it to be, really. The animations team are going around trying to get people to join in with the games, and if you want to join in. If you don't, you can sit around, have a drink around the pool. Morning, boss. You all right? Good. Yeah, man. Video, yeah. YouTube. Yeah. You'll be on it. But yeah, everyone's friendly. So yeah, I'll kind of go in now. I'll see if I can record in the restaurant some of the food, or just the restaurant itself. If not, we'll crack on and walk down to the sort of football area and kids complex. So yeah, the lady on the front was happy for me. So this is kind of the restaurant section. If you come to this side part on the right, they only have like a kids buffet on this section. Obviously it's not on now because it's breakfast. That's a kids buffet. All different fruits. Salad. They even do this, which is nice, the honey. So you can kind of have the honeycomb if you want it. Different Turkish breads. Different cereal. Over the evening, both of these sides are on. But in the morning, you just have this left side with different breakfast items: scrambled egg, sausage. And yeah, it's kind of the restaurants area. it's a bit busy, like, so just I don't know if people want to be getting recorded having their breakfast. So that's kind of that one. But yeah, I'll get upstairs now, and we'll kind of walk down to the kids' games area, football pitch. You can have a look at that. And then we'll walk around to the other pool bars. So yeah, so when you come up the hotel, if you peel off right, you'll walk down this sort of section. And one thing to note here is it's obviously it's set in the mountains, and accessibility isn't the best. Now, there are people on golf carts who will drive you around to your hotels and stuff, but there are a lot of stairs, a lot of steep hills, things like that, which you may need to factor in if you want to come and spend a holiday here. But we've managed now. Our hotel complex, there was like we basically got a pram, and there's like 30 stairs down to the hotel, and then we're on the second floor, and there's a good 15 stairs up. So the first few days we were a bit concerned, but now we've got into sort of a routine of getting the pram up and down, and it's just part of the daily task, really. But if that's not something you're kind of interested in, or you may worry, it may be worth looking elsewhere, if I'm honest. There's no lifts or anything like that, bar from the ones in the main sort of section. But yeah, we're in a junior twin room, so that gives us an extra bedroom for the kids. We have our own bedroom. There's like a living area. You get a washing machine, a real fridge as well, which is also a bonus. Kettle, all things like that. Now the animations team, every now and then they will do a bit of footy with the kids. Bring them down here to a game of football. But it's all dependent on who wants to take part. If there's not enough, they'll just jib it off. They've got a little chessboard as well, so the kids can play with the chess pieces, which is also always a novelty. Normally they end up just getting lashed everywhere, I'm sure. Got the basketball court. Normally, sometimes these places on when you go on holiday are left to a bit of disrepair, but these seem quite in good nick, to be honest. So if you've got someone who's sports mad, bring a football, basketball, and there's a little kind of section for them to play in. There's also a bit of a kids play area as well, tucked away to keep them in the shade. Although I think the swings have been ripped off. Whether that's by feral kids or they've just broke naturally, I'm not too sure. But there would have been swings there at one point. But still, it's something to bring the kids down to if you need to burn off an hour or two. Well, probably more an hour than two. And then you got the football pitch, which is open, squeaky gate. But yeah, it's all well kept. I've seen some of them in disrepair. It's sand as well, so obviously they've got to wear shoes. So if they've got a pair of AstroTurf boots, bring them. And it's big enough for like little 5-a-side, 6-a-side. So if they find some mates around the pool, they can all come down here and have a kickabout. So yeah, whilst I'm walking around to that bar, I'll kind of talk about my experience here. So when we first arrived, we had a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. We obviously we're travelling with a newborn baby, 10 weeks old, so We emailed ahead for a cot bed. That the management staff replied, said, yeah, the cot bed will be in your bedroom when you get here. Now, our flights with Jet2 kind of landed, so we weren't getting here till about 2 in the morning. So we got here, check-in was fine, transfer was fine. But then when we got to our room, there was no cot bed, which at that time, there's kids who want to go to sleep, you want to go to sleep yourself. It was just a bit of a nightmare, so we had to ring reception. Now, when we rang reception, they said, oh, yeah, we'll bring one. So we were happy to wait, get the kids ready for bed, things like that. Pardon me. So we got the kids to bed, and these two lads just knocked on the door and just said, oh, we've got none. Which, having to try and talk to these two lads that don't speak English to say we have email to kind of book one, it just didn't go well. They just said, in the end, call reception. So we called reception again, and they kind of just said they haven't got one, put the newborn baby in bed with you, and we're trying to see if we can get you one tomorrow. Now, if you have a newborn baby, the main bit of information you get is don't put them in bed with you. It's very dangerous. So we weren't happy to do that, but again, we said on the phone, no, we can't do that, it's not safe. And it was just like a bit of radio silence. It's like she weren't that bothered, to be honest. So in the end, we just had to resort to putting the little baby in the pram all night, which he was restless, but we got through it. But then the next day, obviously, you kind of wake up a bit pissed off, if I'm honest. I went to the Jet2 rep. Now he's there to book excursions and stuff, but he will support you as well. So I kind of told him my grievances, and he was just as fuming as me that they just said, deal with it kind of thing. I spoke to him. I think there was a fella here called Charlie or something like that. And then within 5 minutes I had a cot bed at my room. And they apologised. Pardon me. Bloody hell, these stairs are taking it out of me. Also, hold the phone on that story. There is sort of a tennis court as well. I'm not too sure whether you can rent out rackets and balls for this, but if you do play tennis, I'm sure you'll have your own. So, you can pack them in your luggage and play some tennis. And again, it all looks well kept. So yeah, back to being a crank. They sorted it out, but I still noted that the accessibility side, with us being on the second floor, and the fella from Jet2 kind of agreed. Although he said, it's kind of busy at the minute. If we could hang on till Tuesday, and he can kind of upgrade us free of charge to a superior room, which is on the ground floor. Which the main problem for me, I was happy just to get the cot. That was my main focus. So yeah, we said we'll come back on Tuesday and get the upgrade. Now, when we got back to the room, we was like, do we want to unpack to kind of repack everything? So although we were offered the upgrade, we didn't take it, but it was good to know that the offer was there if we wanted it. So yeah, that was just a little gripe. Everything else has been pretty much sound. The room's in a bit of a state of disrepair because, as I was saying earlier, where these apartments owned by people, our room is actually for sale at the minute. So I don't know if they're too keen on fixing it up. They'd rather just get someone to buy it and fix it up themselves. So the fridge is making a racket. Fridge is making a racket. I think I've half came the wrong way here. Let's see where I end up. There's a couple of lights are out. The shower's minute. Let me see where this brings me. Yeah, the showers are minute. Might have to do a bit of a free run in here. Showers are minute. So being a big lad, yeah, I'll go back. Being a big lad trying to get a shower is a bit of a nightmare. That might not be the case in all of them. But yeah, but you know, it's a cheap holiday. You're not expecting the world. We've had a good time. But yeah, this is kind of some of the look of some of the apartments. Hopefully me getting lost is kind of showing you where you can and can't go. But the place is well, outside that, the place is well kept. There's a lot of staff on site. There was a burst water main where the water went off for a good few hours. But let me check around this corner. They kind of delivered water to the room. And that the burst water main, you could see it from the main hill, and it was getting repaired the next day. They've repaired it and there's just like a mound of dirt there now. I think they're waiting for the pavers to come in and kind of repave it so it's flat. But yeah, they are attentive in that way. As well, so when you go to the hotel, what you'll find is around the pool, there's a lot of people obviously trying to sell you stuff. Now, there's a place called the Hong Kong restaurant, which is a Chinese restaurant. They also do some Indian food as well. And they'll offer to pick you up free of charge, take you to the restaurant, obviously you have something to eat there, and then they give you 2 hours to walk around the restaurant. There's like a little town there. There's another bar, not just the Hong Kong one. I think it's called a Lucky Bar or something like that. So there's that involved as well. But now they say free of charge. I'm sure somewhere down the line that transfer just gets slapped onto the bill of the food or something like that. So it's probably not fully free of charge, but they flash that buzzword at you so you think you're getting something for free. Also, there's all different water sports as well. That you can go to, which will take you to the coast to do them, and there's a tattoo bar as well. So yeah. Let me blow up my arse in a minute. Although sometimes when you get lost, you do find lovely things. So hopefully now this brings me onto the right track to get to that pool bar. And hopefully this gives you a good idea of some of the stairs / mountains you need to climb to get around the place. Another thing to notice is it's quite breezy. So even though the temperature is like 30 degrees, that breeze obviously kind of cools you down. So this is one of the complex's pools. Now these pools are obviously not lifeguarded, so it's kind of use them at your own peril really. And the depth of this one is 1.4 metres. So again, if you've got a kid who's a strong swimmer, they'll probably be sound in there. Now I've been to Spain before, and of an evening they put like netting around the side of the pools, which you don't do here, which, you know, it allows you to spend more time in the pool, but if you've got younger kids you might want to keep an eye on them, make sure they're safe. So I'm going to come down here into the first bar. Again, with your all-inclusive, I think this is all included. And it's going to be a bit less manic than that main area. Although that main area's got where all your food are, so I don't know if they do food here. But I'll ask these fellas whether it's alright to record. Okay to record? Video? No video? Yeah. Thank you. We've got to know then, we've got to So yeah, it's a decent sized pool to be fair. You know, a bit more relaxed. With a lovely view. Nice one, thank you. This is the Pine snack bar. Obviously they're just opening up at the minute. But yeah, that's another thing. Obviously I know Turkey's a Muslim country and they don't like being recorded as much, so at least you asked the question. There's me gone. There's a little section underneath where you can get some sun lounges. That's kind of like a little infinity pool over there, overlooking the olive groves. So this is the Pines swimming pool. And there's another one called the Oaks. Get the jump on these. Even she was blown out of her arse then. So we've done that loop obviously on the map this morning. We just hit the Pines. And you come across, obviously. So there's got the olives, we're in Nightingale 9. And each section's got their own pool. But outside of the accessibility, you know, it is a lovely resort complex. It's well maintained. Everyone's dotting round. When you come out in the morning, the pathways have been sprayed with water, kind of cleaned. Bins everywhere. One thing to note as well, in the restaurants they have the cats around, which, if you're not bothered by cats, it doesn't matter, but we're not massive animal people really. Well, I don't mind stroking a dog on the street, but when you've got cats jumping all over you when you're trying to eat your food, it's a bit minging, but oh hey, it is what it is. The staff are happy with it, so I'm not going to kick up a big fuss. So I'll show you this Nightingale pool, which is our main pool for our resort complex. Got our mate here spraying the weeds and feeding the grass. Morning, mate, you alright? Like a little bit of an infinity pool there again, although you are looking at the trees. Little circle section. So this kind of golf resort is like 11 kilometres away from the sea, but as I said earlier, they will offer to take you down there. Normally it's about every 3 hours. So if we went, we've got it booked today at 2 o'clock, but we come back at 5. But once you get to the beach, they've got their own little beach resort place, and it's all inclusive again there. And I think there's a shop that everyone likes to go to called Migros or something like that, which they restock. It's a bit cheaper than being at the resort. Because obviously being at a resort, that shopping complex is kinda probably got a bit of a premium on prices. So this is the Nightingale pool. You probably won't know where you're gonna end up until you're here. But yeah, and as I say, obviously you know the kind of apartments, because if you look on some of them, they've got like for sale signs and things like that. Now this restaurant, this hotel's kind of set on like this main resort apartment complex, and there's like an 18-hole championship golf course, if that means anything to you. And that's obviously kind of half the clientele. It's the golf course and the apartment blocks. The kind of bonus, obviously, with being in a different apartments, not knowing you were, the closer you are to that atrium, in my mind, is the best. I'm blowing again. But yeah, you know, we have spoken to some families who kind of dread that nighttime walk back over to the apartment. But if you want to, there are the lads in the golf carts who'll take you. Now, they don't expect a tip, but if you're using them, you're going to throw them a bit of cash, aren't you? Someone's already out sunbathing here, getting it in early. So this pool bar is the Oaks pool bar. And again, same sort of setup as the other one. This one seems a bit bigger in terms of the pool size and the amount of sunbeds you can use around the side. And it just gives you that bit away from all the loud music and stuff that the main section kind of provides. Because I can imagine if you're coming here a lot, if you're in one of these apartments, there's only so much of that entertainment and stuff you can handle. And if you're much older, wanting to retire or something here, you know, you're looking for a bit of peace of quiet. So these pools, I think they do have a lifeguard with them. But then like the personal apartment ones, I think it's just a case of supervising yourself. Here's a poster for the Hong Kong restaurant. Like, there is a rep inside the hotel who will assist you with all stuff like that, and they'll even help you with taxis as well if you want to go on your own back. This is the Oak Bar. And again, it's all the same sort of offerings as you'd expect. They have iced teas, coffees, waters. The only thing I've seen on draft is Effis though. There's not any other beer really. And with us being English, you know, we like a proper pint pulled. Sometimes you'll get a beer with a head on it, the size of that Buddha over here, or, you know, you will get a nice sized head, but it's hit and miss. Now this little section here is the a la carte restaurants, and in here, if the offering is any time you're doing it, so if you're doing at least 7 days, you get 1 night in the a la carte restaurants. So if you're doing 2 weeks, you'll have up to 2 nights to choose from. And they have different type of cuisines in there. I think it's like Indian. They have like a fish menu, all things like that. But set up as like a bit of like a tiki cabana type of style. And if you look just over the way, that's where the main atrium is. So you just got to travel up a little hill. But if you want to book it, you've got to go to the guest relations a day before and kind of book it. We tried to book it for a birthday on Wednesday for the Friday, and they said they're fully booked till Saturday. So, you know, get in there quick. And that's the same with the beach as well. You can only kind of book it the day before. So if you want to go on a Thursday, if you want to go on a Friday, you need to get there on a Thursday because there's only limited spaces. You can't book it 2 days in advance. And I think that guest relations open around 10 in the morning, things like that. It probably would have been better mentioning that when I was there, but you know, it's just popping into my head now. So yeah, that was the Oaks snack bar. Now as I said, there are 12 other pools on site. I won't show you each individual one, so I'm sure it'll get quite monotonous. They're all pretty similar. They're at 1.4 metres deep. You kind of supervise yourselves. And yeah, that was kind of the loop. We end up back at the front section. What I will show you actually is just around this corner. Although they've got the apartments, there is an option of, I think it's called a duplex or something like that, where it's basically an apartment with their own pool. And I just set off to the left of the main kind of reception. Now, I'm not too sure if anyone's actually in these, so I'll do a quick look, and hopefully someone doesn't come out kicking off. But at least if you are booking one of these, you can kind of see how it's formulated. I think it's each apartment split down the middle, and it's 2 apartments sharing 1 pool, potentially. But don't kind of count on that. That's kind of how they look. So yeah. Oh, we've got a tractor here. That smells good in the morning. They've also got a hotel dog as well. Kind of follows you around everywhere. For the last stop, I'll take you to the amphitheatre, where all the night evening entertainment takes place. So just back up here past the Starbucks. So this is the amphitheatre. So a long row of stairs with the main stage at the bottom now. Of an evening they get out there's like cushions and stuff you can sit on. And they kind of fill it all up with cushions, but normally what will happen is around 8:30, 9 they put a kids disco on, like a mini disco. Normally it's the same songs every night, but at least it's something for the kids. It's normally all the trending ones, like Baby Shark, Söke or whatever it is, where all the kids are doing actions, things like that. Then once that's been on, they've had games of bingo before, just after. They've done games with the kids, where, you know, whichever kid wins gets a little prize. And then, as well as that, they've also done some Turkish dancing. Last night, on the 10th of June, there was kind of they picked someone out the crowd, 3 fellas, and they've all got to do like little challenges, things like that. And whoever gets the audience clapping the most is the winner. They've done a bingo, which the prizes in the bingo are actually quite good. For one line in the bingo, you got 2 free massages, you got a free tattoo, you were getting bags from the boutique shops, you were getting, what was it? Someone got a gold necklace and all things like that. And I think the strips are about £5 each. But yeah, all in all, this is kind of your main go-to Monday to Saturday. And then on Sunday, you go to that main pool bar, which was called the... can't remember what the one. Basically, the main bar by the pool is kind of your Sunday entertainment section, outside of here Monday to Friday. Normally this kind of finishes up here around 10:30, 11, and then you kind of go to the pool area or go to the Aegean bar, things like that. So yeah, this is kind of the amphitheatre section. And the kids normally love playing at the top, which is all fenced off. So yeah, so I'll kind of end it up here. I've done that main loop. Obviously I haven't threw in the whole place, because it'll just be about 10-20 minutes long of all similar looking pools, but hopefully that gives you a good idea. It's kind of a bit of a nightmare. I haven't been able to go into the shops and stuff to kind of show you what's there, but you know, the boutique shops, if you've been to Turkey, you know what they're about. There's a shop full of clothes, there's a shop full of handbags, and there's a shop full of shoes. In that shop, obviously you can buy your pool floaties, all things like that there, chocolates, olives if you want them. What else? And yeah, the main restaurant section. I found with the restaurant section, the food there is sound, but I've never actually seen anything that I think, oh, that looks lovely. You know, it's all just basic food. There's a lot of people who kind of say it gets monotonous at times, which I partly agree with. I don't massively look forward to going there, although I'm happy to go there and eat. You know, food's food in my eyes. But yeah, normally we just stick to that snack bar. Obviously with younger kids, they love burgers, pasta, the pizza that they do there, and obviously they do the ice creams there as well. But yeah, that's kind of a little walk around. I've covered what I can cover. Again, it's a bit of a nightmare, this stuff's shut. The sauna and steam room, if you've seen a sauna and a steam room, you kind of know what they look like. They are free of charge. the fella at the spa will do you a deal if you want to kind of throw a bit of a package together. But yeah, any questions, throw them in the comments. I'll try and answer them as good as I can. And again, all times and anything relating to times of openings as of now, which is the 11th of June 2026. It may change in the off season, but yeah, thought I'd make a little video whilst I've been kind of going AWOL. I haven't put a video out in a while because I've been enjoying my time off. And then I'll get back to doing the attractions as well once I get back to the United Kingdom. But yeah, thank you for joining me. It's just as I was finishing up then, the woman actually opened up the kids playground section. So I'll just do a quick little look. But it's a big enough playground. Slides for the kids. Now I can imagine some of these slides get hot at times, so it might be worth throwing a little bottle of water down them before they end up going down them, or make sure they're wearing long kind of clothes. But there's some benches on the side as well, so the parents can relax while the kids are going nuts. And some swings. This is the mini golf section. I mean, it looks alright. It'll do you a few games of mini golf. And it's free, so you know, can't really complain, can you? Really, just fun for the kids. A little bit of extra activities to do. So yeah, that's kind of the playground area. Anything else that opens up as I'm going round, I'll kind of take a little video and insert it into the video with different parts and points. So this is the gym. See, it opens. It says on the door it opens 9 till 11. There's a good bit of kit in here. It's got the cross trainers. I don't know actually what these are called. Like the bikes that you sit down on. So there's a good bit of cardio equipment. You've got the weight section, so they've got a lot of machines, leg press machine. Although the seat's a bit knackered on it. Abductor machine. Shoulder press. Then they've got the free weights, they've got the dumbbells, as well as some barbells as well at the back. Then they've also got a little cable section as well. Little lap pull down machine. And as well they've also got a cold water fountain. So yeah, so hopefully you're well inclined to use the gym while they're on holiday. You kind of know what you're looking for. I kind of struggled when I was having a little look to see what sort of gym equipment they had. They just had a photo of the treadmills, so there's enough in here to at least get a little workout in. and it's not manned or anything. You just kind of walk in